Oh, right, here we go. Hey guys, this is Holistic Health with Harry, and we're joined by someone that we all should know by now. Is a bit of a superstar coming up in the ranks of the detox world, Sena.
Bro, Harry, it is good to be back here. You really not only encouraged me, but like got me on the map. Although, really, Harry, I don't know what map you're talking about. So let me know all these people who know me. Yeah, Facebook. Woo!
It's a mad world,
I
isn't
got
it,
off
brother?
Instagram recently. I got off Instagram.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh.
like the login credential stuff was screwy, and I just took it as a time to quit it.
I've always found it a hard medium to connect with people, and you can actually comment a little easier and really know who you're talking to on Facebook. Did you find that?
Well, you're actually again somebody who gave me faith in Facebook. Actually, like I mean, like I was saying, you really helped me like get involved in the community. Well, that community was on Facebook, really.
Yeah, do you want
And
to talk a
like,
little bit? The beginning for us, I guess, was you was en route and I wasn't.
yeah, we met on Root, and I like started talking to you about pee on a Root forum, and that was like what at the time. I think we stopped that, but I think at least Clayton has made jokes about it now. And
Yeah, and you're the world's first of the premier Orin looping clean slate looper as
yeah,
well.
yeah, which was like a total honor to risk it and then have it work out. That was awesome. Yeah, because like we definitely saw urine analysis early on in Root where we could see the heavy metals coming out in the pee. And I told Touche this. I was at a point where I was like, really not feeling good, really starting my detox journey, waking up and realizing how, tough the situation in my body was. And really what did it for me, why I committed to it, is I didn't want to live in a world where I couldn't drink my pee and I couldn't take clean slate.
Because you love them both so much.
Yeah, it's like so I just did both, and I
Yeah.
could tell. I made some videos about it. I could tell that I felt better on clean slate pee than just pee. Like
Wow.
when I drank the pee, and there
Yeah.
was definitely like a change in the pee because I was on clean slate. I could tell that.
Mm.
Um, it not only tasted lighter,
Mm.
the pee,
Mm.
I thought, but there was an energetic change to the
You
pee.
mean the same kind of energetic change I feel when I take even that today, a drop of clean slate, and I can feel like for a couple of seconds, like my brain wake up and a torpedo go down my system.
That was the clinchers, because I felt very similar to when I took clean slate, as a drop, to when I drank my pee. It was similar.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm doing. Not to detour too much. I'm doing the
Yeah,
zero in aged urine, bro.
yeah,
It's
yeah. You're
it's
still
one of the
doing
only
that.
ways I take it, and I love the
Good for
double
you.
combination. It's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. The urine, it makes whatever we you know mix with urine more bioavailable. I'm sure of it,
Yeah.
because it's us, right? And so it has to, the whatever we put in the urine is going to have to start interacting with us in the form of urine, and then we put it into our system. Isn't it all about making whatever we eat into self, or whatever we take into self? Anything that we take or eat that isn't close to self is going to have to be converted into self,
Mm.
and that wastes energy.
Mm.
That is strenuous on the body. um and so the stuff that we like, Harry, and we products and stuff, our claim is going to be that those products are really close to self blueprint already.
Nice. Yeah, nice angle. Mm. The close to the perfection of the human body, they're replicating perfection,
Yeah,
sort of, even though they're man-made, but natural, like magnified, I say, you know?
that's your point, right? Is like it's nature magnified. Well, that
Yeah.
nature equals self in this metaphor.
Yes, you're like this. So I've got a theory that I just can't remember. It's not really a theory. You probably thought of it, had this thought too. It's not original, but I reckon, there's AURT meters. You ever done the age urine AURT meter? Have you
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it?
you
I know.
gotta do that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that clean slate feels in my body, I honestly believe in my heart that AURT meter would be way higher than aged urine, because a drop of aged urine, I've said this many times, doesn't do what a drop of clean slate does, and I can feel it. So why wouldn't the AURT of not be really high? Clayton's told me to go for it. Let's do this
Well,
experiment.
that's just limiting clean slate to one Um,
Yeah.
One measurement. The power of the clean slate isn't just the negative charge, it's the ability of the mineral, which is negatively charged, to bind to the positively charged. Now, I know you know that. And the ORP meter is just going to test the negative charge.
True.
And so that would be only one thing is, I don't know. I mean, really aged urine is super negatively charged and super alkaline. And I bet it's going to be similar. But yeah, like how much you're still going to get an impressive reading from the clean slate, I'm sure. How much clean slate are you going to put in the amount of water?
And that's the thing, isn't it? Me and you have to buy a couple of bottles for an experiment here. We'll get around to it at some point.
Oh yeah. Okay. How about this? Just pour out a bottle into a small cup, so you actually get enough like level, so you can stick the ORP meter. Just stick it in straight clean slate solution, and then just put it back into the bottle.
Yeah, I think I will do. All right. So I really want to focus on with you, and I love your focus now. I really do, because I've heard of it before, and I'm going to try it. This is something that I reckon people watching this would not, most of them have heard of. They've heard the root, fair enough. They call it the Zencleanz, isn't it?
Yeah. So here's how I heard about it, which is super funny. You told David Townsend, and he told me, and I tried it before either of you tried it.
Right. So David heard of it through me, but he didn't try it. And
he told me, and I ended up doing it before both of you. And I fell in love. Absolutely fell in love. I think I nailed it. I did it right on like the winter equinox, which is like my birthday, late December. And I just passed so much plaque. And I say that because like parasites, they like come out in the full moon. Parasites definitely seem to ebb and flow in their activity depending on the astrology. I don't know much about that, but there's something to like doing deep parasite cleanses when the sky is really active or something. Yeah, so I did it late December and I passed a ton of plaque.
What is it for the audience?
I get into the details. Zencleanz is a 3 years aged enzyme product, which means a couple bottles of liquid enzymes and then like 12 packages of powdered enzymes. And what you do is you take it in a very specific order at very specific times of day with a very specific temperature water, and that gets the enzymes in you in the proper rate and properly activated because the water is just warm enough, not so hot that you kill the enzymes, not too cold where they don't get activated. You take that all in according to the instructions, which are all very clear. That makes it sound complicated, but here's the thing. You can get literally pounds of mucoid plaque out in a day. So you do the cleanse, take all the stuff in the order for one day, then it'll come out the next day. It'll continue to come out in smaller amounts for up to a week.
Really? 7 day cleanse? Yeah.
It's like the lining of your intestine just popped out.
That deep-seated mucoid plaque that most people have never even touched unless they've done aged urine enemas, and even then maybe it goes even deeper than aged urine enemas potentially, would you say?
The problem is...
Did you say that? Wow.
Definitely, and for a very simple reason.
Yeah.
It's through the entire digestive tract, and it is absolutely cemented in there. So we have a long, small intestine, right?
Right. So it goes to the small, the mucoid one goes to the small intestine, not just the long intestine, just the long.
That's the thing, is if people can think they can get it out with just a colonic, because in their mind it's just in the large intestine, even if it's like, even if they consider the large intestine being up the left side, across, transverse, and down here, that's all large. What about all this stuff in here? What about all that?
Where the parasites reside, the most of them in the small.
Well, let's say the majority of our intestine is small intestine, but it is. We don't have to say that. And so the majority of the plaque is in the small intestine just because of surface area. And then the parasites live in the plaque. So the majority of the parasites are in the small intestine.
I love it. And so when you do the Zencleanz, which is a day thing, you just commit to it a day, you push out the mucoid plaque, we push the parasites that live in the mucoid plaque. So you're getting rid of mucoid plaque, which is probably stopping nutrition and all this going in, that big block causing disease.
Yes.
Do you feel a lot? I know you don't answer this, but do you feel a lot vibrationally different when you do after? Is it during the cleanse you feel different? Do you feel a lot after? And does it stay, the effects? What do you notice?
I think I got like some of the most indicative feelings that there was a big vibrational shift, because it wasn't all just love and light. There was some really deep stuff going on. So during the cleanse, you feel quite satiated. It's made with organic food that, like the Thai. I always get. Is it from Thailand or is it Taiwan? I think it's Taiwan. That's where
Taiwan, I think. It's fruits,
Taiwan.
right? Primarily.
Yeah.
3-year-old fermented fruits.
Yep, fruits and veggies. Fruits and
Oh,
veggies.
and veggies too. I didn't
But
know.
but it's a lot of fruits, especially with the intestinal one. They use a lot of pineapple, but it's like it's called a compound enzyme mixture, meaning like dozens of different fruits are used. They age them all for 2 years in their own containers, and then they mix them together for the 3rd year. And they have different formulas based off what organ system you're targeting.
Wow. So it's already a 3-year process to make.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to just emphasize, because I know this is going to be on people's minds, of it's a super like organic product. The regulations of what organic means in Taiwan are better than in the US or the UK, meaning that GMOs are actually outlawed. I don't know the full thing, but certain GMOs I think are outlawed. I saw something in the affiliate chat about that. And people don't experience like allergic reactions with this. It's very gentle. And I think I can tell the difference between like a straight up allergic reaction versus like, kind of general detox symptoms. But general detox symptoms are going to more happen with the liver cleanse, when you really get the liver moving. But the intestinal one is pretty darn gentle.
Really? So it doesn't matter how toxic you are, you'll never have a really rough detox, even though it pulls out a load of shit, literally.
Well, this is the difference here. It's going to pull out all that shit, and the day after you're going to feel a little rough. Like the day during it, you'll feel pretty good. And then the day after, as the mucoid plaque is now collected in the colon and is getting ready for elimination, there's a strong desire to eliminate it. And so something I suggest is a smoothie, actually, with the fiber, just something to stimulate peristalsis, because you feel a little sick to get it out of there. But it's not your normal, like, detox hexamer reaction.
Interesting.
But here's the, I get ahead of myself. You take this layer of poop, which it's this really thick mucousy, it's not poop, it's mucoid plaque. You get that out of there, and all of a sudden you can feel emotions in your guts that you hadn't been able to feel before. So because the gut is now freed up to do its normal like processing, there's a big emotional like, whoa, I'm feeling my feelings way more than I was. That happens, which is different than detox. This is why I'm making this distinction. It's like there was a big emotional detox that happened.
My simple brain goes, every organ of the body has an emotion, and large intestine, I can't remember the emotion, but that emotion, because you've cleansed it so small intestine so much, it clears up that, and to clear it up, it has to come up, that emotion, doesn't it?
That's right. That's all I'm saying. So I found that my cravings actually got worse after I did the Zencleanz, because of like emotional reasons, as opposed to, in my thinking, as opposed to parasites and normal parasite cleanse, parasite cravings, where the parasites are telling you to feed them bullshit. But it's either one of two things, really. It's either the emotional thing, which I'm sure is a big part of it, or it's the parasite's last stand or something. Like they don't have a home in the small intestine and the large intestine anymore, and so now they're migrating to like my liver or something, and they're scared, and they're really getting at me. But I found either way that the cravings were a real problem post cleanse.
Interesting. And
how
would people get past that part of it?
What you do is you don't do too many Zen cleanses too close together. I've actually done 3 intestinal Zen cleanses.
Did you? Oh wow,
yeah. And Yeah,
I think I remember you saying on Facebook, and you said each one pulled a layer that you wouldn't believe to other people,
that's
because I know that a lot of people have never heard of this, and understandably are quite cynical that enzymes from fruits and stuff this old can really do what you're claiming, that I know as well is the truth for them.
right. This is often our conversations, Harry, like free versus paid.
Yeah.
So if I can go off on another tangent about that. No, I want to talk about the experiences doing multiple. So I just did them too close together. It was too emotional, just too much work opening up my intestines and opening up those lower chakras too fast. It's just I was healing too fast, and so there was like a backlash, and that backlash is feeling bad, but also backsliding in your diet. Why would I get rid of plaque just to put more mucus forming foods in myself? I did
Yeah.
that because I was feeling shitty, so that's dumb. So just spread it out and avoid that, and know that the cravings are going to come up because you're healing, whether it's
Yeah.
parasites or not. Okay. So
Do you know that it's not exactly cheap for people? So let people know the price, and also they need an affiliate code, and you're affiliate with them. I used to be, I'm not anymore. So
yeah, I got the affiliate code, and thank you so much for sharing that, Harry. Because it's $200 for a intestinal cleanse. If you go on the site and see thousands of dollars, that's in new Thai dollars or new Taiwan dollars.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So check that. But okay, here it gets to this really important conversation of free versus not free therapies. If you're gonna fast to cleanse your body, and your body has an immovable cement object coating your entire intestines, your body's going to be trying to detox that mucoid plaque while you're in the fasted state, and it's not going to be able to, meaning that your body is going to be frustrated. Do we want to ad nauseum frustrate our body? Is that good for our health? The proposition, it's not. So then the idea here is clear the mucoid plaque and then radically embrace the free therapies.
Yes.
Problem is if you haven't practiced a little bit of fasting and practiced the good diet, you're not going to have the muscle and the will to practice the good diet and the fasting after you clear the plaque. The proposition is you can't get this stuff out with fasting. So here's some examples. People who seriously claim they can get the mucoid plaque out on the cheap and on the natural, what they're doing is weeks long fasting with urine therapy and herb combos on top of that. So you'd have to pay for the herbs, but I get that that's cheaper. But again, I don't think it's a good idea to do weeks of fasting to move something that it is going to move either very slowly or not at all. I did 2 years of coffee enemas, and I didn't get this stuff out. I did not get this stuff out. Yeah.
What would you think about if you were to compare, and I love your insight and body feel, just like mine, aged urine, if they did aged urine, then, because we know that's very powerful. No one's going to deny that. For up the bum, I mean.
I've done aged urine enemas. I do fresh regularly. And
would you say it's deeper detox than aged urine enemas?
Well, in terms of getting the mucoid plaque out, I really wasn't getting hardly any, no matter any of these protocols I was doing. And it's like, was I doing enough of them? More or less to get some. And I've done 3 intestinal cleanses, and I kept getting deeper layers. And the deepest layer this last pass, I got out a layer that was dry, dry to the touch. All the plaque came out a little bit wet, especially because you can, try to hydrate it to get it to slough off. But it's multiple layers thick, as confirmed by, all these other Zencleanz users, and they keep getting more layers off each time. One of the tricks of how these
carry on, sorry.
One of the tricks of how the enzymes do this is it's not just working from the inside out on your intestinal tract. These are, because they're aged so well, they're fermented so well, they turn into, quote, systemic enzymes, meaning that they actually get into your bloodstream. So the formula is going to target the specific organ system that the formula is made to target, but it's going to be coming at it from both sides, like all the blood vessels on the outside of the intestines and from the inside out.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
360 attack on the mucoid plaque.
That's the image in my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's nano, just like Clean Slate. They got it nano. The fermenting, it just makes it really small and able to get into the bloodstream, and that's majorly important.
Wow.
Yeah.
This motivated me because I did tell you when we were just talking that I made a mistake. Yes, I think everyone should start on the mucoid plaque one, but I got the liver one, which is going to produce the same result. Well, it's going to take out the liver stones, I assume, and we've all got liver stones.
Gallbladder. I mean, yeah, like we see liver flukes coming out with the liver cleanse, which are hard to identify. They look like little fat deposits, but they're actually big parasites. Liver flukes. Look up what a liver fluke looks like.
Yeah.
Here's a fun aspect of Zencleanz. No matter which cleanse you're doing, you have to collect it in some kind of colander. You got to poop into some kind of colander, then like either and then dip it down into the toilet water
so you can see the stuff.
Take out the poop matter that'll dissolve off, and then you got to look what's in there. And you'll notice when you do that, especially with the intestinal one, just this massive amount of plaque that comes out. And you'll notice the difference between that and the poop.
Got ya.
And this is important because then we see what we've been doing to ourselves. Like it's really mind-blowing, the image that is coming to me now and is making more and more sense of we're not meant to eat any food that's dehydrating, like period. Like there's so much plaque in my system, dehydrating and mucus forming, we're just not meant to eat it. We're meant to eat like fruit and pea, man. Like that's what it looks like post Zencleanz,
Right.
People who are able to afford a lot of Zencleanz, like the CEO, he's just whenever he feels like it, not eating for like periods like 5 days. And
really? So he's finding he's generally craving much less food because of what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So two biggest steps I've made for craving less food was first Clean Slate. I cut my food intake about in half when I started taking Clean Slate after a couple months. Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking all the people that want to aspire, probably watching this, to want to be breveterians, and that's a great inspiration. Maybe you should focus on doing what you did with a bit of a bigger gap, 3 or 4 in a mucoid plaque cleanups, a liver one, Zencleanzes, and then you can go on your free therapy breveterian journey before you start doing what you say, the slower journey of just fasting with the stuff still stuck in you.
Yeah, I think I want to kind of try to rephrase some things I've said here. If you don't believe that you need Zencleanz to get out this deep mucoid plaque, just do one of them and tell me you're not convinced. So the ask here is to commit $200 to before you just put it out of mind. Because what I really want to recommend in terms of the full-on procedure to get rid of the mucoid plaque and really start from a plaqueless place to work on your other organ systems from there is to do 3 spread out a decent amount. And how you would do that is do 1, wait 2 to 3 months. The question is, do you wait a month, 2 months, or 3 months? Depends on how bad your cravings are. Wait until you get your cravings under control for like a couple weeks, to where you're not wanting to eat the mucoid food. Because, here's another reason. So emotional release from doing the Zencleanz, the parasite release from doing the Zencleanz, pissing the parasites off. But then also you're able to absorb nutrition. You brought this up.
Yes.
Way better than you've had in a long time, because that stuff is literally coating your intestines. And so when you do eat, you feel so much better because you're actually absorbing the food. That's another reason why you want to eat a lot after doing the Zencleanz. So just do 1, then enough time passes to where your diet stabilizes back to where you were prior to Zencleanz, let's say. Then do another, same procedure. And then do a rainbow cleanse, which is
Isn't that
500.
all of them? All of them, isn't it?
No,
No.
it is like $500 something. But here's what it is. It's an intestinal cleanse on day one. And then you have 5 days of taking the generalized enzyme products. They have different bottles like that, looks like wine bottles, that are just enzymes in a bottle that you can buy that are not part of their, like the intestinal or the liver, or now the lung one is coming out. They also have just general enzyme products, like one that's made with mycelium, one that's a particularly detoxing one called the Detox S. And then they have the powder and the pellets, or little things that you can chew on, called like black vacuum and quantum particles. And they each do something slightly different, but they're all made with enzymes. So the rainbow cleanse is the intestinal cleanse, then 5 days of enzymes in general, and then the liver gallbladder cleanse at the end. And that is awesome, because this idea of doing the intestines first and then the liver, although I know you got the liver on hand, but Harry,
you did it wrong. Harry did it wrong.
You're healthy.
Forgive me.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work for you, man. Don't worry about that.
But no, but you're right. Hippocrates says the gut is the foundation. And you said there's a lot of clogging up there. That's
right. The gut is the foundation for multiple reasons, but let's think about it in terms of elimination. That's where everything eliminates into. So you got to clear out that cork in the system. That's the same thing I was saying with coffee enemas. Everybody's got really stuck bile, which is, at the end of the liver process. So the liver is stuck because the bile is stuck. Get the bile unstuck, and then the liver can work with the bile to flush out the stuff. I think that's the order of operations. But we're just trying to uncork the end of the system, and so that the rest of the system can flow downstream into that and eliminate. So they get rid of the intestinal plaque first, and then encourage the liver and gallbladder to dump into that environment.
Isn't it fascinating? You tried turpentine, by the way. I
took some today. That's why I'm a little jumpy.
Oh, no way. Would you equate the powers? I love to compare, and I know I shouldn't.
Oh, sure.
Urine, turpentine, these all do things powerful down under too, don't they?
Well, yeah, turpentine, it certainly goes everywhere in the body. It gets into the bloodstream, is what it feels like to me. And it really goes after the parasites. Oh my God, yeah. It feels similar to other antiparasitic protocols, like clove and wormwood. I put a clove wormwood tincture in my Orin enemas, and I get a certain type of clarity that is very similar to turpentine, even though they're completely different substances.
Interesting. They do claim the Native Americans use those to kill parasites, didn't they? The parasite eggs and the parasites. They specifically target them.
Yeah, the turpentine, that's why I felt similar, is because they really go after the parasites. And it's like, oh my God, I feel this strongly with antiparasitic protocols. That must mean I've got parasites. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let me just summarize real quick. 2 intestinals and then a rainbow cleanse spread out, so you can manage the emotional and craving stuff that happens when you're healing this.
Save you money if you don't fight too much in all at once.
yeah, exactly. Because then you backslide and you're wasting money. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Although but yeah, for sure. The plaque that is in there is, years of dehydrating, mucus forming.
I'm gonna say the kind of things that you don't even realize, even us in the communities, that we've been clogging up there, that even the age sometimes doesn't remove the enemas. It's just very deep and dark. And so you go down this journey, and then you realize, oh, why didn't I do this earlier, and take that chance to try it out and listen to people like yourself talk about it. But you've got to take the risk and buy it. But then it's worth it when you take the risk, because you realize all along you were wrong to not think it was legit. But you need your own experiences to believe what we're saying.
And it's again, what we're saying is always going to be nature amplified. And the claim is that we're in enough of trouble nowadays that we need it. Yeah. So I am using the word need. I am. Let's take into consideration that our food is being irradiated. They literally, like like take our fruits and vegetables and like put like some kind of radiation on it in order to make sure that it doesn't doesn't rot as fast, so the fruit stays fresh. Well, the reason why it's not rotting as fresh is because that radiation killed all the enzymes. Sorry, rotting as fast. It's because the radiation killed all the enzymes, and the enzymes are what break things down, i.e., rotting on the shelf. And so they literally kill all the enzymes in our fruits and veggies in order to make them last longer.
Holy shit! And the enzyme is what's giving this the power, and it's fermented, yes, but it's the enzymes to give it the power.
Yeah, there's a lot of, it's pretty mainstream that enzymes are super important. I think it's one of the reasons why urine therapy is so powerful, is because our body is creating the enzymes. Really, the only place you're getting enzymes anymore is your body. And like people have really good experiences with enzyme products that don't get into the bloodstream, that just stay in the gut, because they're precious. Enzymes are amazing, but these are systemic compound fermented enzymes that get into the bloodstream and go everywhere and are like, I love intelligent, man. I
love it. Localized and systemic, I say, for the aged urine when you rub it in. Localized, systemic, full flush.
Like you want to work on your gut, you rub it into your gut, but it's still going to light up your whole body. That's what Zencleanz is like. So it sucks like being a fear mongerer in order to push product. That sucks. So all I could say is try it once and you'll see what I mean. You just can't get this plaque out without. I truly don't think in any other way. Look, I turned. Well, first thing I have to say about that is go on their website and look at the freaking pictures, man. Like if you haven't seen my pictures, I've been fairly public with my pictures. My picture is like, I got my hand in the left side of the screen, and then, from here over here is just plaque laid out. And that was just my first big movement of plaque with the first one I did. It's insane, man. It's absolutely insane how much was in there. And I mean, I feel lighter, and there's like a need to ground. Same with all the other detox stuff. You lighten up, you get a little.
I find interesting of all these things. They're so powerful, and you recognize at the beginning when you have the transformation, just at the beginning, and then we forget. Even I forget, like, because I'm getting used to this. Now it's gone. You just accept and get used to the current vibration that you're at. But it's only the transition between the before and after we remember, and then we forget. And we should, me and you, keep promoting this stuff. It's like this with the Somavedic. I mean, that I've loved this for a while, and it's actually, I'll give a shout out to you that I am now obsessed with them, because I knew about them before, but you said, I remember you said, like, just basically you pushed me over the edge. You were the one, and I thought, okay, I'm going to buy the Green Medic. It blew my mind when I took it. My mum couldn't sleep, and she was 4 meters away. It was making my heart go in a rhythm, and I was putting it near my head whilst I slept. And then, to come back to my point, I had the one for 4 or 5 months, and I forgot about the power of it because I just kept it in the same place. I was taking it for granted because it gave me a new elevation of consciousness when I only noticed the difference between the two. And then I had an experience where I think I put it a bit closer to my head back in October, and I got a massive upgrade in my sleep. I couldn't believe it. So at that moment, I had a bit of extra funds. I bought the second one, and then a few months down the line, only a few weeks ago, I bought a third one because what I did is I put the two that are normally far apart underneath my bed, directly close to my body, and had another experience that I needed to remind me as my elevation of consciousness changed so much. So each time I'm reminding, because even I need reminding of the power of this stuff that I don't understand truthfully how it works. They're amazing. They really are. There's so many things out there. And one of the things I love about you is you're a big believer in me. Everyone's seen I started on free therapies. I love free therapies. Aged urine, yes, amazing. Writing books on aged urine. Let's help people with free stuff. There is some things that, I'll be honest, it might be ego, but me and you have associated with and affiliated with that are very, very powerful. And dare I say, more powerful than nature, because as we say, nature magnified by mad geniuses, whether that be Root, Cleanlsate, whether that be Somavedic, whether that be Zencleanz, whether that be Aries Tech, Blue Shield, whatever you think about. There's so many, and I'd say they're worth the money if you think about it, because some of them, like they clear out your intestines deep within. Some of them are on 24/7 with 5-year warranties. Do you know what I mean? They're worth it if you calculate how long they last and what they do.
And you take into consideration all the suffering you avoided.
Yes.
And this gets back to the point that which you started there, which is we forget actually the state of suffering we were in.
Yeah, we do over time.
We
Yeah.
forget how numb we were, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
completely.
necessarily outright suffering, but it's
No.
this numbness that once the numbness is gone, it's hard to remember numbness. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
now that yeah, that I think I said it. It's hard to
It's like
remember
once you clear it
numbness.
out with something powerful that we do, it's almost impossible to go back down to that low level because you've done something so powerful to go back up. So, but then you plateau, if you will, and we've not come here to plateau. No one has, whether that be physical, emotional, spiritual health. We have come here to grow. That's what gives us individuality, joy, and happiness. So, how do we not plateau with physical health therapies? You do a Zencleanz, you buy the worth it energy devices, you keep doing it. Because I even think with aged urine, I've sort of plateaued with it. I've talked to people about this. I've heard it from other people too. Everything has its limits when you use it a lot. You can plateau. So you always need to look for that next level.
Yeah, I feel my deep progress where I know I'm making progress or backsliding, and it's like still really interesting with the diet, man. So then it's
Yeah.
like what tools can help me not feel like I'm hurting myself when I'm fasting, and really improve the the goals I have of eating less and eating better. Um, and that's what these products do. These energy devices
Mm.
make me feel good when I'm fasting. That's like how I know that they're working well.
How interesting. Yesterday,
Especially
I hadn't gone more than 24 hours not eating anything for a long time. I did 36 hours and I broke it today. And all my somavedics are amazing anyway. But and you said this to me before, I never forgot it. These energy devices, yes, they do mitigate EMF and they do your best to protect you and they do amplify. But these are kind of like in a better world, it's almost like if there was no EMFs and if your body was fasted, and you're not eating garbage all the time or eating too much, you get so much more. And I noticed it last night. The somas gave me so, no, they don't, they give a load
when you
anyway.
were in a fasted state.
In a fasted state, everything
Yeah.
is amplified, everything, whether it be breath work, yoga, all the free stuff, but the paid stuff too.
This is why I'm excited to talk to the really accomplished free therapy people about this stuff. It took my fasting game, it took my urine game, it took my eating really light, high vibrational foods game.
Yeah.
I've made massive progress because of these tools, as opposed to I really stuck it out for a decade and got better with hard work.
Right.
I
Which is a
use
phase
this.
of life we've been through in a way. I mean, we all go through it.
Oh
You've been
yeah,
through it too.
and well, the better point that I'm trying to say here is, um, it's facilitating the free practices.
Mm.
That's what it's doing for me. In a time when I feel like I don't have time to slowly get healthier, like uh, just my paranoid head, I was like, I really need these supports,
Yeah.
and it worked. For supporting the free stuff, for supporting the sovereignty, for
Exactly.
supporting the not needing to spend as much on food, not being as poisoned because I'm not craving the poisons. It's not separate from that totally free autonomous dream, you know?
Mm.
Like I share that dream with the free therapy people, I
Me
promise.
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
you know.
Me too. But also, there has to be an understanding that, I mean, if we're going to go full time with detox, some of us, and give you and spend our entire lives dedicated to not doing a normal job so that we can make some income, so we can focus completely on detox and give you the best of the best that's value for money, we're going to need to make money in order to get out of these 9 to 5 slave jobs and do all that. And so that means we do need an income. And there's no more congruency than making income on some of the most powerful supplements, energy devices, Zen cleansers, what you call it, because you can feel in your heart, yes, you're making money from people, but are you conning people? Absolutely not, because they work so powerfully, they radically transforms people's health.
I did this. Oh, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
One of the first concepts that I really jived with when I was going through like spiritual awakening stuff, still am, but like, when I kicked it off was like this realizing, oh my God, we don't know how to enjoy ourselves. Like I grew up, with enough money and fun things around in my life to where it got really sad that I couldn't enjoy myself.
Mm,
I was like, I've got all the things. I have
mm.
the and that's where you get into like, addictive behavior.
You
Just to
didn't have
feel,
your health though, did you?
yeah, I didn't have my health. Exactly.
Mm.
And so, people are spending money on things that don't really bring that, fulfillment, or health, like
Yeah.
this stuff is not only like good for you, it's awesome. It's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know, it's important that we learn how to spend our money in actually ways that feel
Yes.
productive. Although, you
Yeah.
know, I have to say, I have gone into debt for the way I've gone about this. So like I've got money issues, and
Mm.
I'm working on that. And so I don't
Yeah.
feel really qualified to lecture anybody about money.
No, but what I would say is, and I can relate somewhat to that, but probably not as deep as you, but I would say that that's what makes you targeting and using your money, even going to debt for the right reasons, will, by the laws of the universe and how you're playing this, calmly speaking, bring you the abundance you deserve financially and all the rewards of your health because you've taken the risk. So
think
it
it's
does build
happening.
up the
I think
warrior
it's
within.
happening, Harry. You know,
Yes.
I can only push things so fast,
I
but
mean, haven't you been on
um,
Santos show with Zencleanz
yeah,
recently?
like I just got, and I'm gonna just that was just briefly, but we're gonna have a bigger talk. Like, you know,
Oh, are you confirmed as well? A bigger one.
yeah,
Nice one.
yeah. It's
That's
gonna be.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking have an episode. It's like you, bro. It's so cool.
Yes,
I'm so excited.
exactly. That's gonna be amazing.
You know,
Jesus.
I had the guts to, I had the health to completely radically change my life because of these tools. If I didn't have these tools, I literally wouldn't have been brave enough to, or been confirmed that what my feelings were correct,
Mm,
that, you know, I needed to do a serious overhaul on my health, or else I wasn't going to get happy.
mm,
I was able to confirm that through the tools, which was really validating for me. I was able to break from my old culture of wanting to be an actor in New York City, and the culture that surrounds that, which, you know, I love those people, but, you know, I wanted a different culture and a different lifestyle. And that was
mm,
scary. I was not only
mm,
breaking from all the people I knew, I was breaking radically from my parents.
mm.
And without these tools, without the good vibes, literally from the energy devices in a really, you know,
Yeah.
negative vibe city,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to break out of that. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
here in Montana with a lovely Orin brother, who's on the elderly side, and you know, that was because of the urine therapy community, but the bravery that it took to keep my
Yes.
life in New York City and come out to Montana,
Exactly. Yeah.
I got that from the synergy of these devices. So I've been able
Yeah.
to make radical life changes. I've been able to, um, you know, feel like I'm pissing off people I love, even though really it was me just telling the truth. And I want to tell them the truth about health, you know, because I love them. And
Mm.
you know, it's tough. Like people don't want
Instead,
to.
you found yourself on here speaking to the real people that connect with you all around the world, whose social media, who've chosen you and me to watch, chosen you to watch. You're the chosen because you're speaking to people that can resonate right now with your
Yeah,
message.
yeah. And thank you for platforming me, Harry, in a big way. I super appreciate it.
No, I owe you a lot because I think we're one of the very few that gets. We're at deep levels of good body feel, detoxification. We don't mind spending money, but we do love our free too. It's a perfect combination of everything that I've always wanted to be. A little bit of everything makes the world magical, not just maybe one thing super deep. Maybe
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
always been like go over the all over the place. Yeah.
ideologies trap us, right? Here's a really good point for the vegans.
Mm,
Um, the mucoid plaque issue is so much bigger than I ever thought, and I proved it to myself with Zencleanz.
mm,
Um, there's certain vegan vegetarian people out there right now who are backsliding in a big way because the fat really does like help our bodies a lot when we're detoxing.
mm,
Let's say there's something to fat, and
mm,
there's something to, well, honestly, you know, meat stops the detox process and it makes you feel better just because it's clogging you up. You know, the mucoid
right.
plaque
Mm.
coats the intestines so you can't feel your fucking feelings. Like
Oh, right. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing, is like
Yeah.
that's why it's tough to get rid of the mucoid plaque, is because
Mm,
then, oh my god, you know, you have to feel everything, you know.
mm,
So there are, you know, for all the vegans who have been disappointed by people who are really public vegan vegetarians who backslide,
yeah.
realize that it's extremely difficult to get out this plaque,
Mm,
and that plaque is really uncomfortable to continuously try to clear. Your
mm,
body's going to try to be clearing it,
mm,
but it can't because it doesn't have the resources to do that,
mm,
um, even with extensive herbal, you know, and urine therapy, I really believe.
mm.
And so that puts a person in a situation where they genuinely don't feel good. They're on a mucusless, plaque-free diet, but they can't move out the plaque.
Yeah.
This is a big missing link for
So they're
why.
not. So I guess you're saying they're not adding extra mucus, which is good, but they're not taking away the deep layers that they should.
Yeah, and so there's no numbing food going into the system, and the body can't clear out the stuff that feels like hell. So you're stuck just feeling like hell. It's one of the reasons. It's a big reason why I think vegan vegetarianism isn't as obviously the best thing ever as it should be, is because of this freaking mucoid plaque. And I think Santos is thinking the same thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because he's been really adamant about the vegan and non meat eating.
Is he? I don't know if he's vegan or not. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's super against eating.
Oh,
he calls it eating flesh and all that. And,
dead animals, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll talk about how all the animals are like hybridized and they used to be better and stuff. I mean, like anyway, he's really solidly in that direction of a truly committed vegan, and he has arrived at wanting to do the Zencleanz. Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see him roll with that, because everyone is going to get. I mean, I can't imagine. It's actually impossible. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's impossible if you do the Zencleanz as you should to get a massive result. Surely.
It's impossible. Yeah, absolutely. On your first time.
And how many things can we say that for? Because even some supplements that me and know that are very powerful, we admit some people it doesn't work for whatever reason. Right. But this one, no, this will work for everybody.
Yeah, because it's so physical. There's a lot of like psychosomatic things that really click. Like let's say even homeopathy, it might work with a particular energetic signature, but it won't work with another energetic problem. Everybody's so unique on the like emotional and psycho reasons why they're having physical symptoms. So yes, like a lot of medicine is a psychosomatic thing in which if you just treat physical toxicity, you're missing the deeper energetic layers. There are major exceptions to that rule, and Harry and I totally cover that, namely heavy metals. And these really just obvious poisons, and your particular emotional issue will attach to those poisons. So there's still the, uniqueness of every human being, but it's still attached to common poisons, which are physical as far as we can say what physical is. So really bad poisons, really positively charged BS, and plaque and the parasites that live in that plaque and the acidic environment that thrives on. So like, physical poisons, plaque, parasites, and acidity, these are things that we can like quantify almost in a biological system, because the biological system, it's one with life, and you actually can't quantify life at all. Life is completely quality based. You can only qualify anything. Actually, you actually can't quantify anything. That's an interesting thing to play around with. So this is like the most quantifiable stuff we can get at is the poisons, the plaque, the parasites, and the acidity. If you cut down on the amount of those things, you do better. And then even doing better is a qualitative phenomenon, meaning you're lighter, and you're processing more, Shakti, and you need less and all that. That whole idea. So I think I've said all the important things, Harry. So thanks for helping me tie it all in.
That's amazing. And I think we should just stick to those. I mean, we go all over the place. We have generally talked about root, Cleanlsate, and all that stuff that we do, Somavedic a little bit. But I love the focus, actually, truthfully, on the mucoid plaque, because I think you're the guy that's going to, I envision it. I can see it already with your group, which, by the way, shout it out on Facebook. What do they type in for your group?
Oh yeah,
what's it called?
Zencleanz for Mucoid Plaque. I'm running that group with Nick Shizano of the Syncretism Society. He wanted to just start that group before he had tried it, before Santos had tried it.
Because he loved you, was it?
Because of the pictures, Harry. I'm sure.
All the pictures. He saw the pictures. Yeah.
I mean, I could have a good personality or whatever, but like, the pictures. Like, Zencleanz and Cleanlsate, to be honest, is even though Cleanlsate is a feel. It's a see it to believe it thing. You just got to try it. You can't, well, I mean, talking pounds of plaque, man, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna be
like,
on the toilet the whole day. I love it.
yeah. So you take it in one day, you probably won't have a bowel movement that day, but you might. Try to be a little fasted beforehand, or eat light for a week, because the idea is you want the enzymes to work on the plaque as opposed to the stuff you just ingested.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
So just eat lighter beforehand, maybe fast a whole day beforehand, because when you actually take it, you're getting a lot of nutrition. That's, made with really concentrated organic food. So, it's basically an eating day when you do the cleanse, although it's so light, you don't feel that I've eaten heaviness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the day after, you'll feel this need to poop, but you can't quite. That's because they got this lot of plaque, but it's hard to pass without your whole system engaged in peristalsis. So it's funny. I drank a pretty large smoothie, and I immediately passed the mucoid plaque. So
Nice.
you can stimulate the peristalsis from the top down. You don't have to. You can do an enema, but I actually recommend just a smoothie day after, like midday. If you can just power it out, it'll come out.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross to have that stuff in the colon and not eliminating. Yeah. Because it's pretty gross, toxic stuff. And so you'll be getting that like kind of lightheaded.
I mean, we live for gross. People watching this, we love it. I mean, gross for normal people. What's gross? We're like, oh yes, what a beautiful parasite I've just eliminated. I love it. Everyone else is like, what the fuck?
To me, it's better out than in, guys. Like, if you see it, it's because it's not in you anymore. It's way grosser because it was in you. It's like denial is just denial. It's not real.
Yeah, it's so true.
So yeah, Zencleanz is a see it to believe it. You're gonna have results on the first time for sure. Like, I got probably double the amount of plaque out on the first go than I did on the second. And then the second, I got double the amount than I got on the third. So even though you're getting deeper layers, the top layers are really where the most comes out. So the most worthwhile one is the first one you do.
Yes. Which is great for people to hear, because we're recommending to people that have probably never heard of it, let alone tried it. Try it. So try your first one to be the most powerful.
And we're talking to, health warriors here, that first Zencleanz is going to do you better than most anybody else, especially if you're on urine therapy. Day of urine therapy. So the urine that you pass when you're on Zencleanz is gold. It's full of this enzymes, it even tastes like the product when you drink it. It tastes like the product. So, here's the thing you can do is you have to take the enzymes like on the hour or every half an hour. They give you a timesheet, and you're supposed to drink it with warm water just to activate the enzymes. So if you can time it to pee right on the half an hour. And
warm urine. Urine, you mean?
You get the warm, fresh urine, mix it with the powder, because you have to have a bottle that you can shake, because what you do is you take, it's mostly powdered, but then you have the liquid that you pour in there as well. And they'll show you how to do it. But you need to, mix the powder with warm liquid, shake it up, and then drink it. If you can time that with your warm pee, it's even more effective. Either way, save your urine, age that urine. It's like super potent enzyme. Awesome.
Oh my God, that's an experiment for me to come. So I'm going to do liver one. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this one in between this, and I think we're going to have you back on. I think when I've done the liver, the intestines, and I'm happy for what you're doing. Basically, you're promoting something that I think most people never heard of, that needs to go sort of mainstream, just like I feel the Rife does, the Somavedic. These things need to go a bit more mainstream within our non-mainstream community.
I think so too. I mean, like, let's take because we're saying that there's a need for it. So, the energetic environment, the EMF, I learned something really important about EMF. So electromagnetic fields are Hertzian waves that travel through the air, from point A to point B. Scalar energy, which is what we talk about, is defined as voltage without vector, meaning that there's power, but it's not moving. It's just everywhere power, because it's more directly working with the ether which is a medium that is already everywhere and already
like all
penetrating
consciousness is
everything.
scalar, and the little bits of duality we live in is like sort of the bad stuff, sort of like analogy of like everything's scalar, everything's scalar then, the whole universe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But then we have this like overt, well, here's how everything is scalar, even with EMF moving from point A to point B, is that this EMF that moves from point A to point B shooting out from your cell phone or the tower and hitting you, it also has a scalar component. It has a negative reverberation in the
I've
ether.
heard that it has a scalar component because me and you wear the EMF shielding clothes, and I heard that, and I do believe it does protect you from 99% of the physical Hertzian aspect, but it doesn't protect you from the scalar aspect of the thing going into you.
That's right. And that scalar aspect of the EMF is enough to trigger your immune system into thinking that it needs to be hyperactive. Although we don't have an immune system because there's no such thing as a pathogen.
Oh, yeah.
Even bacteria is pleomorphic, people. It changes depending on the energetic environment. So you've got that bacteria. BS, you've got that environment which invites that bacteria, because the bacteria themselves are pleomorphic, which is something that Rife discovered.
All right, our Royal Raymond, we love him.
So, we've got these negative scalar fields from the EMF. So the Blue Shield company in particular says what you need to do is have a positive scalar emitter, or your own scalar energy, because human being is the most advanced scalar energy device in the universe. We're not ignoring the fact that you can't beat nature, people. We're confirming that from every angle. We're just saying we're just not strong enough and we need the tools. So the EMF clothing makes me feel better, makes me breathe better, which is a big test. Is
slower. You loved it when I did that one where I said that anything that makes your breath slower,
it's
really
so
works.
True, man. I was like, how do we measure this shit? It's not.
Pacheco talked about it. He noticed that the people that are getting cancers and all diseases had too fast a resting breath. They were breathing too fast. And I think 100 years ago, our breaths generally, like testosterone has gone down loads, our breath rate was much slower, and because of more diseases, there's a correlation. So anything that slows your breath down, aged urine, clean slate, no doubt Zencleanz is going to transform your breath rate slowly.
Well, like you've got so much more like room in here. Like diaphragm breathing is like, oh my God, I'm feeling everything now. The only reason why it's going to make it harder to breathe is because the breathing is going to be so much more energetically, emotionally productive. Yeah, like I said, I had the cravings after the Zencleanz. Like it was like my stomach was sore and stuff. It's like, well, I'm healing, but that's progress. So, if people do feel like rough after the Zencleanz, it's because you can actually feel your intestines for the first time. So charged up talking to you, Harry. All the thinking I do about this stuff has been colored.
I've noticed already, if I'm being honest, and I'll share with you and the audience that the last ones in New York City, you was getting tired after 20 minutes, half an hour, and your energy has definitely changed because we are now 1 hour into this interview and you're still going, which you would never do with me before in New York City. Not that you didn't ever have great information, I loved you always, but I just noticed there was an energy dip after about half an hour, say, which is not there. So yes, I'm going to put it down to the location. You are living in pure air. Yes, it's huge. You have your energy devices in a place where there's no toxicity in EMS. That's huge. But also, I do factor in all the amazing things you're always advancing with your supplements and the Zencleanz.
Yeah, I think the Zencleanz has been the real progress for me. You brought this up. With Clean Slate, we forget what we were like beforehand. One of the ways I explain that with Clean Slate is the negative energy, the negative memories even, are attached energetically to the poisons. If you get rid of or totally neutralize by, getting them stuck inside the Clean Slate honeycomb, the memories and bad energy completely disappear as if they were never even there.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the past doesn't exist. And so if you get rid of all the BS that, is holding you into, keeping you anchored in the past, once that's gone, it's like it's never even happened. And so you forget what you were like. So one of the cool things that I got going on with this YouTube channel is I can look back and I was like, yeah, I'm inflamed and dumb compared to now. And like, pictures and stuff even. And because I can't remember, and plus we're always the infinite sun of consciousness on the deep, deep inside. And we're just, uncovering layers that are covering that up. And so that's another reason why you don't realize how powerful these things are necessarily unless you journal or make videos or talk to friends who can remind you, is because on the inside, well, this was always me, this liberated,
It
happiness.
feels like it's always you as you unleash your true self. It always was you. I know what you mean.
It's your true self. So it's
you remember it because you was it before, probably. I don't know. You've always had access to that state. You just forgotten because
you've always been that on the inside, and it's more of a matter of expression. It's more of a matter of how you interact with the world that has changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, which is how we measure, how we think about ourselves is always in relationship to an other. So if I'm depressed for a reason, if I'm depressed for any sort of objective reason, it's because I've mixed myself with objective experience. And so, that's why cleansing is good from like a spiritual aspect, is by improving objective experience, or our relationship to it, we're not doing the most pure spiritual thing we can do, which is to recognize that we aren't anything objective and we've always been pure free consciousness. But like where people do get messed up spiritually is in attachment, meaning attaching to objective experience. And so let's work on it from both angles. Let's acknowledge that we're always whole and complete, and there's nothing we can do that is going to change the whole completeness of pure consciousness. But attachment is a real issue,
Yeah.
I think this is one of the reasons why people are so enthusiastic about free therapies, is because that leads us to greater sovereignty, which is nearly identical to less attachment.
Yes, that's so true. No attached to nothing. You produce your urine, you got your nothing, eating nothing, you can thrive, you got the sun, no attachment. You're so right. You're so right.
We are supporting that process with these tools. And as Clayton said, Clean Slate is addition by subtraction.
Yes.
Zencleanz is addition by subtraction.
It's elimination. It's not addition. It's elimination of the worst offenders.
That's right. Yes. The scalar energy, let's even tie that in to addition by subtraction. Yeah. Scalar energy is going to structure your water and the water that is already integrated into your cells. Structure is emptiness. Structure isn't content. Content is what is inside structure. Good structure is similar to a massive cathedral, which is gorgeous in large part because of all the space. I mean, it's also in the middle paintings on the walls, but it's like, at least like a bowl, a bowl is useful because of its emptiness. The bowl is a bowl because of its structure. And then the content inside the bowl is the stuff that comes and goes, which is our lives, let's say. I'm getting pretty poetic here, but if you really look into it, everything that Harry and I are talking about is actually getting rid of something. So the scalar is structuring the water. That's improving it's actually giving more space in the water. The unstructured water is clumpy and not resonant. Things that are resonant have like an openness to them, right? Have a crystal is not all collapsed on itself on the inside. There's a definitive open, lattice structure to it. That's what our gel water is. It's a living crystal, and this scalar energy actually can structure it as it's in our body. Like the Soma Vedic is aging your urine faster, right?
It so does. I put them underneath there, bro, and it's getting insanely fast. That's the Standal Green model, by the way. This is the Vedic, which is a bit more powerful. And I've got the Amber, which is ridiculous. But yeah, all of them seem to age it ridiculously. I mean, I can't even imagine for you quickly. There's so much. You've got do you still have the Ruby, by the way? You got the Blue Shield? You can name them.
Here's your Ruby, Harry. It broke when
the broken Ruby. Yep. You've even got the inside of it. Look at that. I've got one of those pyramids from you, I think. What was it?
Yeah, this is a Life Energy Solutions pyramid.
Yes, I've got one with a pendant.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I have one on top of my sauna over here. That's what this is. I got a grow tent, cheap grow tent, and the sauna space in there. I've got one on top of there, and that's when I feel it for sure every day. Because when I bombard myself with basically, really top-notch synthetic sunlight from
Yeah.
sauna space, I can feel that this orgone pyramid works. But yeah, this one broke in the mail when you sent it to me.
Shame. And you got the Blue Shield, which I'm going to get. The premium is you swear by that one. The
Well,
Blue Shield
dude,
premium.
so funny, right? I turned you on to Soma Vedic, and you
Yeah.
turned me on to Blue Shield, and I'm actually more in love with Blue Shield than I am Soma Vedic.
How weird. And I'm not yet until I buy it again.
But I only have the Green Medic, and you've got the 50% better than Green Medic, new version
Vedic,
of the Green Medic,
which only costs £80 more. People are stupid not to get the Vedic straight away if you're going to go for the green. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
only £80 more.
didn't they decommission the Green Medic?
No, they haven't. I've seen on the
Oh.
website, so I'm saying it. They still got the green one, which is
they're
very
just
good, by the
trying
way.
to get
I
out
can
of
confirm the
stock
green one is
Vedic.
good, but go 50% for the.
Yeah, no, Vedic is the upgrade of the Green Medic, and it's
Yeah.
the same price, or $50 more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Hanuman on here because Hanuman's who I pray to every day. That's how much I love this Blue Shield Premium.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Does it make a difference how close you are to that? I guess it would.
yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about powered scalar devices. It's just more powerful. Like, people can use geometry to create a scalar field. You can even use pictures and stuff. And when you do mudras, I believe that's a certain geometry that is affecting the etheric field that your body is in contact with via your water.
Thing. I was doing a mudra the entire time I'm talking to you. How funny.
Yeah.
Why not?
So these passive methods of aligning ourselves with the universe is a way to get in touch with scalar. I literally have to plug this back in here. I don't have to. I'm not addicted to it.
No, good point. But it's great. We get used to that. Once you get used to high vibe life, you never go back. You never go back to. You never drop.
It's just these interviews,
Or should I say, Matt, quickly, 2 steps, 1 step back. That's how I roll. I do drop. I drop the 1 step back after the 2 steps always, and then I keep going forward though. It works out all good in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the plug. I'm not going to plug it in. See, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do love talking to you, but let's keep it for the audience and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So, lastly, I'm going to put under the group for this YouTube as well your Facebook group, your Facebook, and actually, do you have an affiliate code as well? So we'll put that under link too, or is it like a code they type in?
Affiliate link to Zencleanz. The other thing you can do is just let me know if you bought it based off of listening to me, and then I can tell Zencleanz that this person is my referral, and they'll.
So if they make a mistake and they've accidentally forgotten they shouldn't have done the affiliate link, then they can still name call you and you'll still sort it out for them.
Yeah, they just tell me, and then I can tell Zencleanz, and it's very easy. They just put them under the referral. Either way, I think people should be reaching out to the person that told them about a certain product.
Yes.
Because I am totally free and available to answer any questions anybody has who wants to do Zencleanz because they heard it from me. I feel like that's an obligation I have. It's something I would love to do. So
you can follow because
same with Cleanlsate. You're there.
I'd lastly say this. Listen, like the Soma Vedic too, anyone get this 10% discount through my code, and it does give me a commission, but you'd think it's all about that. But actually what it's really about is I actually want to know the people buying from me so that I can know their experience with the power of this. That excites me more than the money. And the problem is with some people is they'll use the code and I love it. Yes, I'm still making money from you, but I'm not hearing your story. And I want to hear how I'm changing your life, because that's why me and Matt, that's why you guys do what you do. You give your wisdom. So it's great to keep us informed of your journeys, and don't be a mystery person. Come out there and tell us how amazing the Zencleanz is, how amazing the Soma Vedic, how we've helped you, because it encourages everyone here.
Yes. Yeah, I've really said it from every angle today. We're supporting sovereignty. We're supporting your individuality with tools. We want to liberate people, which means not giving them golden chains. Even these products are not ultimately about something to get addicted to. No. It's not the case. No. So that's something I really wanted to bring home today. So thanks for letting me say
exactly.
That.
This has been an amazing, long interview with Matt Sena, our longest yet. I'll add. And thank you very much, Matt, and thank you for watching this Holistic Health Harry with Matt Sena.
Thank you.
I think you're going to press the stop. I don't have the stop button on.